Hello and welcome to Orion Today. I'm Joe Johnson, and once again I'm joined by Kim Urbanowski. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. It is March.
Yes, it is.
Do you think the worst of winter is behind us?
Well, I really hope so. I really hope so. I mean, you know, the rain and it's a little funky today.
Yeah, I'll
but
take rain over snow any day.
What is the latest you remembered ever snowing into the year? Like what month?
We've had April snow because I remember one year the Tiger home opener was postponed because there was snow on the field.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've gotten snow well into April, but
I remember a May time frame.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
'Cause I planted some hydrangeas before thinking it was okay because it was May, like Mother's Day situation. No, not a good idea. Didn't last very long.
I have this memory. My second car that I owned, I brought it home on Friday the 13th of March. This was probably in the mid-'80s. And I woke up the next day and it was buried in like a foot of snow. And yeah, so that was mid-March. So we may still get some snow, but I hope the worst of it's behind us.
Yes.
I like the warm temperatures.
Me too.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Yesterday was great.
We're just a couple of weeks away from St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing the green today.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's coming up.
It's right around the corner. Yeah. So let's hope warm weather ahead. So, do you do anything exciting this past weekend?
No, actually, this is the first weekend I haven't done anything. But you know, I've done a lot of traveling in the last couple weekends for kids things, but not so much this weekend. It was my son's birthday. He's 14 now, so you know, we kind of. I think you're probably going to mention it earlier, but they did go to Autorama. That was that's their big family. The guys in our family, it's a big thing. So
yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. That was I took Friday off. I like going on the very first day, and I didn't get press credentials or anything this year. I just wanted to go as a fan, you know, just to go have fun and not necessarily work. Oh, there's something going on in the studio. We'll just work our way through it.
Working our way.
So yeah, I went on Friday, and I was under the impression that the doors opened for Autorama at 11 o'clock, so I got there at 10:30, only to find out that they didn't open their doors till noon.
Oh.
And so I had like an hour and a half to kill and was on my feet all day. And I was exhausted. It was tough, but it was a lot of fun. One of the things that I really enjoyed was they had a display of Batmobiles.
Yeah.
5 different Batmobiles from the early TV show all the way through the more recent movies. That was a lot of fun to see. There's the Tumbler from The Dark Knight and the Batman Begins.
That one's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a bunch of them lined up. Batman Forever on the right.
Is that the one with Robert Pattinson?
Val Kilmer is the one on the right. They didn't have the new one from the Robert Pattinson movie, but Val Kilmer on the right, Michael Keaton in the middle, and then of course the far left is the TV Batmobile, and there's Batman Forever.
That's cool.
It was neat seeing costume characters running around. The Batman figure that you saw in that one picture is a mannequin, but they had a couple of the TV characters in costume, and they were a lot of fun. And I didn't notice till I was looking at the picture that Bat Cycle is completely covered in autographs from cast members, and that was really neat to see.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the Bat Cycle.
Who owns those?
I think there's just different owners, and they all get together. This particular exhibit has been traveling around the country, so it's been in every state. And this upcoming weekend, I believe it's moving to Chicago. I love the Batgirl bike. You notice they had to put lace around the edge there to make it more feminine, and a little bow on the back. That always cracks me up. But,
well, she doesn't want you to think that she's too tough when she's coming at you. You know, you got to sneak up.
They had an Evel Knievel exhibit. I don't know if you remember his jump over Snake River Canyon.
Yeah.
There was a lot of buildup, and it ended with kind of a dud where the X2 rocket cycle here, when it took off, the parachute deployed too early, and it just sort of gingerly lowered into the bottom of the canyon, and Evel never attempted it again. And I think his son, Robbie Knievel, may have attempted it years later or decades later, but I remember all the hype around that, and it turned out to be a big dud. Another thing that was really cool to see, I have a friend, Mickey York. You may have seen him on Fox Sports Detroit, and now it's known as Bally Sports. But he had a car at Autorama, and he took over a publication called Cruisin' Media. where people who enjoy going to cruises, it's every 2 months they have a list of upcoming cruises, and I contribute an article about Hollywood cars. And so Mickey brought his 62 Impala SS. Now there's a really amazing story behind it. That car was purchased by his grandmother, new off the lot. She sold it around 2006, something like that, mid-2000s. And after she passed, Mickey tracked it down and found it and bought it and had it restored. Wow. But then on his way to a car show in 2021, he got into a very serious accident. He could have been killed in it. And there's the result. And they thought about totaling it, but he said, I don't want to total it. So after over the last couple of years, he's had this company, this Motor City Solutions, Hot Rods and Restorations. They did a loving restoration of the car, and there it was. They unveiled it at Autorama on Friday, and it was pristine and just beautiful. And then the cherry on the sundae was that he ended up winning first place in his category, which is something like conservative hardtop, I think they call it. But there's the big reveal where they unveiled it for the first time, and everyone was gathered around, and it was pretty emotional to see it because, I mean, you saw that picture of what it looked like when it got into the accident. And
I'm trying to see if I can see my family around there. It would be funny if I saw my family.
Yeah. So it was really cool, really neat moment to see that unveiled.
Yeah.
And then the big moment of the weekend, I wasn't there for it, but I saw it after the fact. They have a top prize called the Riddler Award. And the requirement for receiving the award is your car has to debut at Autorama, your custom car. So they narrowed it down to 8 cars, and on Sunday they announced the winner of the Riddler Award. And this car, well, let's see, it's owned by Dave and Tracy Maxwell. They refer to it as a 1953 Chevy Corvette, but actually it was built entirely from scratch, from like sheet metal and stuff like that. So even though it resembles a Corvette, and I think it's on a modern Corvette chassis, it's all built from scratch. Wow. It has a V12 engine. It took 5 years to build this car, and
that's spacious on the inside of it.
Yeah,
it looks like
the trunk too. Yeah, so it has a removable hard top, but it is absolutely stunning. And so the prize for taking home the Riddler Award is $10,000. Now that's probably a fraction of what they have.
Drop in the bucket.
But really amazing looking car. So there's the 2024 Riddler Award winner at Autorama this year.
That's insane. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I get a kick out of it. You know, we were talking before the show that you have the auto show and you have Autorama. I've gone to the auto show and I just sort of get depressed because it's like, these are new models I'll never be able to afford. I'd rather go to Autorama and see the cool cars and the hot rods and the custom cars.
I've been, I think once, I know I've been once, I think maybe twice, but my favorite were the Woodies.
Yeah.
I like those, and I think, because you know I drive a Flex now, I think that's what inspired driving my Flex, but those are cool. Like there was the mint green with the wood panels and the surfboard and stuff. Those are neat.
They had something similar on display, and its claim to fame was that it appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show as the Beach Boys performed. Oh, yeah. So they had that at Autorama. So I went way back in the 70s, and one of the earliest memories I have of Autorama was I remember my sisters getting all excited because Scott Baio was there. Chachi was at Autorama.
I don't blame them.
And over the years, they've had like cast members from the Dukes of Hazzard. I met Adam West there, Batman himself. And just last year, Henry Winkler was there, the Fonz, and he's always a lot of fun.
So I was thinking about that when they were showing the Evel Knievel thing, because wasn't there like a whole, the Fonzie, like, didn't he jump something to, I don't know.
He jumped the shark. Is
that where that comes from?
Yeah. Well, he did that on skis, but he also, I think he jumped something on his motorcycle. But yeah, they coined the term jump the shark because Fonzie was on water skis and jumped over some sharks, and they said that's when the show like went in the toilet, and so that
that's
gave
what
birth.
it means. Okay.
You didn't know that?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't really.
It
like,
gave
I've heard
birth to the phrase "jump the shark." That when a show has jumped the shark, like when Family Ties brought in the little blonde hair.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, pull the plug.
Exactly. Like, or when on Scooby-Doo, when they kazoo.
That was on the Flintstones.
Oh, the Flintstones,
The Great
right.
Kazoo when they came in.
Is that a
yeah.
jump the shark moment?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. That's
what I
when it was downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. You learn something new every day. So Autorama was a lot of fun, and we'll have more to talk about later on in the show. We want to promote some upcoming events, but right now we want to get into our little promo for ONTV. You may or may not know that ONTV's funding is being threatened right now at the government level, and we got a campaign going to try to remind our elected officials how important ONTV is to the community and the role that we play. So let's take a look at that video right now.
Orion Neighborhood Television is your community media outlet. Our mission is to empower community members and groups to create, communicate, and connect through television and video production. For more than 35 years, ONTV has offered video production classes to residents of all ages and provides them with the equipment and facilities to produce their own programs. Not only are residents encouraged to produce programs, but ONTV staff produces programs that promote local nonprofits and community groups like the Chamber of Commerce, the Orion Township Public Library, the Lake Orion Lions Club, and the Orion Arts Center, to name a few.
ONTV has been very important for all our events. We have our community Dragon on the Lake and Art and Flower Fair. We also have our holiday market, and they're always out there promoting us and covering our events, but also promoting through on-site interviews at the studio, which are very helpful, and to have the footage after for us to be able to use in our marketing materials and to put on our Facebook. It's been really beneficial for us.
Yes, ONTV has just been a great partner. We're so thankful for them. And what they do is they really come to all of our events, especially our ribbon cuttings, having their ribbon cuttings documented so that they can archive it, put it in their business history, post it on social media means so much to our small business owners. They've really never seen anything like that before, and that's what's so unique about the Orion community and ONTV is that they're always there for us. Last year they did 18 ribbon cuttings. They stay from the start to the finish. They interview the small business owners, and we all just couldn't be more grateful.
That exposure is just critical to us. We have to get the word out there about how people can volunteer more. That's a thing that's becoming less and less important to people in this world. And the more we can get the word out with your help, the better off we all are in the community.
The staff ventures out into the community to cover events like parades, festivals, concerts, and high school sports. And for more than 30 years, ONTV has provided the equipment and staffing needed to televise township and village meetings live to Lake Orion residents.
In Michigan, it's a unique model, and I don't know how it works in other states, but in Michigan specifically, we don't have to pay to put the equipment in our facilities so we can broadcast these meetings. And government transparency, it's not just a buzzword, it's required in today's day and age. But the fact that our residents aren't paying for that through their property taxes is invaluable in my opinion. The fact that it's funded through these franchise fees that the cable companies have paid forever, a few pennies literally on cable bills helps fund this really important, government isn't trusted anymore. This is one way people trust us because we're closer to them, but everything we do is in the light of day. And it's thanks to this funding that exists, a really unique mechanism that allows us to continue to give that to our residents.
I think it's mission critical for clarity, honesty, and just getting the message of local government out to its residents. I mean, social media has become a way to do that, but ONTV is on social media. So I don't think that we can broadcast meetings in any other way or better at a better rate or a better price than what ONTV provides.
ONTV also provides the video equipment that Lake Orion High School students use as they prepare for a career in broadcasting.
The franchise fees, the PEG fees that fund ONTV and the Cable Commission actually benefit and fund our program as well. We're able to ask for grants from that organization, from ONTV, from the Cable Commission to help us. We're very fortunate to have one of the best broadcast programs in the state, if not the country, and they're a huge funding revenue source for us to be able to provide our students, past and present, with amazing technology that's very comparable to what the professionals use in the industry.
ONTV's podcast studio and training give producers an opportunity to educate and entertain listeners. To sign up for classes or for more information, call 248-393-1060 or visit orionontv.org.
So yeah, we're pretty busy in the community, and we offer our classes. So we are going to be taking sign-ups for our upcoming editing class, which starts on April 1st. So that runs 3 weeks. We go over introduction to editing, and then after that, we get back here in the studio. We offer classes here in the studio. So if you're looking to get involved with video production or want to pick up a new hobby or skill, just reach out to us and we'll help you out. Yeah. So, all right, joining us now is Patricia Schapira from Love Inc. Thanks for coming back into the studio.
Sure, thank you for having me, as always.
Yeah, for those who might not know what Love Inc. is all about, why don't you kind of tell us about it in a nutshell?
Yeah, in a nutshell, what we serve is folks in need, and our mission is to mobilize local churches to help folks who have found themselves on some difficult times.
Yeah. So in what ways do you offer assistance? Do people approach you, or are names given to you? How does that work?
Yeah, so we really try to encourage people to participate in getting out of the situation that they're in, so we invite them to contact us. So we never contact them first. They reach out to us and say, I have a problem with a security deposit, or I don't have enough food to eat, clothes, I can't pay my utilities. So we invite them in to do an in-person intake for about an hour, because we're trying to build that relationship, right? Rather than give that handout, we want to find out how they got into that situation and what we can do to work together with them to help them get out of it.
Yeah. And then you said you work with area churches to coordinate with them too?
So we coordinate through area churches. We work with organizations like Oxford Orion Fish, with the Pregnancy Center, with Neighborhood House. I mean, all sorts of, we have 22 partner churches, and so we reach out. For example, we have some ministries in some area churches, so we reach out that way, like for our clothes closet, which is at Oxford Free Methodist Church. So that's how we try to mobilize churches to help people, help us help people.
Yeah. I've noticed, I think we have a flyer hanging up out front, but I love how there are area churches that say on certain nights of the week you can come here for a hot meal, and each church offers that on a different day of the week, so they're not overlapping, which I think is awesome. And I think that's such a great service to the community. And I know it's got to be very hard for families to approach, to admit they need help and approach you. What can you say to these families that are hesitant to ask for help?
I mean, I think we can probably, if we all look at ourselves, everybody has been upon hard times at one time in their life. Everybody needs a hand up at one time, so there's no shame in asking for help at all. We have the biggest hearts. We want to just help people get out of the situations that they find themselves in.
Yeah. So how does this happen? How are you funded? How is it possible that you can offer this help?
We are funded through donations from community partners, from individual donors, sponsorships for our events, grants that we receive. So we're always out there hustling to get, money to pay for things. But yeah, because we really feel that the work that we do is really important. So we're just always out there trying to find funding to get it done, because it's an important job to do. Yeah. For a small organization like us, there are lots of large ones, but we feel like we can make a real good impact locally.
Yeah. Now, the timing of your appearance is no coincidence. You have a major fundraiser coming up.
We do.
Tell us about that.
Yep, so it's our second annual Share the Love event. It's at Indianwood Golf and Country Club, and it is on Saturday, April 6th. We're really excited about it. We're going to have the former pastor from Lake Point Community Church, Bob Holt, as a speaker. We're going to have some great live auction items. We're going to have a professional auctioneer. We have a hot air balloon ride that we're going to be auctioning off, a week in Port Aransas. I'm trying to look at the list. what else? Some preseason Lion tickets. So yeah, we're really excited about that, and some other cool stuff as well. Yep.
That'll be a big one this year.
Yes,
the
I know,
Lions
right?
tickets.
Yeah.
I was there last year, and
there it
the
is.
thing that struck me is it was so glamorous, like being at Indianwood and everyone dressed up and looking
Oh,
nice.
there's my husband. He looks so handsome. It's awesome.
So what will describe what people will experience during this glamorous night?
Yeah, it's going to be, you know, dining, cocktails, the live auction, and just, you know, sharing some stories about our partnership between the community and community churches. So, yeah, we're really excited about it. Really excited about it.
What's on the menu?
It's plated, so it's a sit down. So it's not a buffet this year, and I believe it's going to be steak and chicken.
Ooh.
Yes, so it's going to be fancy. It's going to be fancy.
Be there anyway.
Yes,
No, definitely.
yes.
Would you describe this event as your largest fundraiser of the year?
Yep, because what we have found is it's good to have a major event like this, to have a signature event, but most of our funding comes from one-on-one relationships with people. So we're trying to ignite more passion in the community for folks who have the deeper pockets to give, but we're also, you know, opening this up to the community at large as well. But we're just, as we try to have those one-on-one relationships with people to help them, we're finding the best way to raise large amounts of money is for folks who really believe in what we do. And so we try to do that one-on-one as well. But this one fundraiser is our signature event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you still headquartered at the church on Drainer there?
Yes, yep, at Lake Point Community Church, we sure are.
Talk about your relationship with them.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, we have so many, like I said, we have 22 partner churches, and it's wonderful when the partner church knows what we do. They actually get folks who call them for help, and they can say, hey, that's not our area of expertise. Why don't you call Love Inc.? And that's what makes us really happy, because that's why we're there. So the church is benevolent and wants to help, but we have the expertise in that area, so we want them to forward those folks to us. But whenever we need, we're actually reaching out to some of our partner churches to do a hygiene drive. So it's wonderful, like it's the relationship again that makes everything work between our donors and our board members and our volunteers and the community at large and our churches as well.
What kind of staff do you have? Who's working
So
in your
there's
office?
3 of us, so I'm the director, and we have a clearinghouse coordinator who is the one who makes all the final decisions on how we can best leverage our resources to the folks that come in, and then a donor development person who's trying to have us be more intentional with those relationships with our donors.
Awesome. You got any questions?
I don't
I'm doing all the talking.
No, it's
okay.
fine.
I
It's
know.
fine.
Were you, wait, Kim, are you here? What? No.
I know. I'm just learning all that I can about Love Inc.
Because Kim is a new board member. We're very excited to
I am.
announce that she's on our board.
Well,
What
look
a
at that.
blessing.
Brand new.
Secrets from
Yeah, and we're really thrilled about that. We're still always looking for new board members because we really have a passion for what we do.
Yeah.
You can ask us, Kim, about how many people we helped last year.
Oh, here we go. Oh, you know,
There you go.
Yeah. How many people? How many people did you help last year?
So last year we helped 387 families.
Wow.
And individuals we were really happy was 214 of them were brand new, which means those were folks who hadn't reached out to us in the past.
Wow.
And so we were really excited to have those folks find out about us and reach out to us.
Wow.
We made and received over 4,800 phone calls last year, which is a lot, all with our volunteers. And we presented the community or folks in need with over $4,300 in gift cards and over $17,000 in financial assistance.
Wow. I'm curious if you had the same experience that the Fish Food Pantry had. During COVID, there was less of a need, which seems counterintuitive, for the food pantry because people were getting aid and stimulus checks and things like that.
Yep.
Since COVID, when those payments stopped and now inflation is going up, now there's this huge need. Are you experiencing something similar? What did you go through during COVID, and how have things changed since then?
So we received a grant during COVID, so we had to spend all of that money, which was a little bit counterintuitive for us because we wanted to have people work to get that money because that's what we're trying to teach. Yeah. But we gave all of that away, and we were fine with that because that was the intent of the money. Now what we're experiencing is not as much of a food insecurity, but there is a lot of rental insecurity.
Oh, yeah.
People are being displaced. We're having people who come in who are homeless, and that's tough because there is not a lot of affordable housing in the area, and that's a huge. But that's just not a Lake Orion, Oxford, Auburn Hills problem. That's a statewide problem.
Yeah,
Yes.
and maybe
Probably a
even
nation,
national.
a nationwide problem.
I mean, obviously, homelessness is out of control right now. In any major city you go to, you see the tent cities that are set up, and that's a major problem. And I can speak from experience. I'm a renter, and since 2015, my rent has doubled.
Oh, wow.
It's doubled.
Wow.
And
tough.
but when I say, oh, I'm going to get out of here, I'm going to go find someplace else, it's the same all over the place.
Where can you
so
go?
rents
Right.
are skyrocketing. So
Yep.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the solution is. You can help someone with rent this month, but
Right,
what
but
about
then what's
next
going to
month?
happen next
Yeah.
month? I just had a meeting with a gentleman from Green Path, and he put me in touch with some renter resources. So we make sure that we're always staying up to date on those sort of resources for folks. So when they do come in, there are other agencies that we can refer them to where they can get some of that potential, if it's government assistance or local assistance. We're always trying to find that out. But then also encouraging folks, if they have a job where they're not making enough, perhaps they can look for a different one or reach out to, like if it's in a family, perhaps if you have, someone else in the family or the household that can work, like pool your resources and try to do something different. Because rent prices, all prices are going to be going up to stay for a while. So we need to try to teach people different ways to think outside of the box, perhaps, to help themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, one concern that I have is with all the new construction that's going on Lapeer Road there. I don't know what they're going to be charging for those townhomes and condos, but that's going to have a ripple effect, and I'm sure that all the apartment complexes in the area are going to follow suit, whatever they charge. So I don't think there's a solution in the foreseeable future right now. So other than I know the governor has said that they're trying to have encouragement to build more and more housing, which will hopefully keep prices down. So we'll see.
We really need our smaller homes that people can start off in instead
Absolutely.
of going for, and I understand, and we see a lot, I'm on the planning commission, that people want to build, these bigger places and they're more expensive, and we start at $400,000. That's not a starter home for someone. And we always try to say, but again, it's the developer that's doing it. So we're always trying to say, hey, attainable housing is a really good thing. What about like somebody starting out with small children, maybe like a 1,200 square foot home instead.
Absolutely.
But you know what?
Right. Didn't we all start in that size of a house? Like when we got our first, it was 8 to 1,200 square feet.
Right.
Yeah.
They were,
Yeah.
and everybody was just fine.
It's hard to build those though. It's for them. It's what we're hearing, but we're always kind of trying to
Encourage
put that out there. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. I also saw something recently that said, 30, 40, 50 years ago, the cost of housing represented a certain percentage of your income, let's say 20% or something. Today, it's closing in on like 40%, 50% of your income.
That's crazy.
So you've got to take money away from other things just to have a roof over your head. That's
do.
amazing to me. So.
And you would not think that we have homeless folks in Oxford and Orion, but we do.
Yeah, and whenever we do the Oxford Orion Fish Food Drive, I always bring this up that Oakland County is one of the wealthiest counties in the nation, not just Michigan. Yet to me it's shocking to find out that there's hunger, there's homelessness that's going on right here in these communities.
Absolutely.
So it's great that an organization like yours is doing what you can to help these people out. If someone wants to reach out to you, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, they can visit our website, newly redesigned, loveincofnoc.org, or if anyone that they know of needs assistance, they can call us at 248-693-4357.
Awesome. And I'll be at your event with my video camera
thank
to shoot
you.
some video. Hopefully
Awesome.
people won't roll their eyes when I turn on that bright light. But,
It's all
Don't
good.
run away.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
all right, well, thanks for coming out. And
Thank you.
it's about a month away, so we'll help keep spreading the word and
Awesome.
send some people your way.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
All right, where are we going next? Oh, Broadway Dance. We have a performance from Broadway Dance, who were big supporters of our recent food drive. The kids there collected all kinds of food, and we really appreciate that. So let's take a look at this clip featuring Broadway Dance.
Better get a second to think about it. Consider your thoughts about it. Give it just a minute before you take the rundown and burn with it like a fine day flame that just came out of your brain. When you try to think about it for a minute, you will soon fall back. It's a second, it's coming out, but I know it's just the beginning. I ain't got it now, and you can go and it's like an infinite rage. Pushing me to the edge. You take me down, you take me down, you take me down. Dance with me. Sway, sway, sway. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me, stay with me, sway. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more.
So thanks for the support from Broadway Dance. I don't know if a lot of people realize that the studio that you saw just now in that video clip is our old ON TV studio. And we used to occupy that space. We moved out of there in 2011 into 2012. Broadway Dance moved into that space. They got so huge, they took over the business next to them, and then the business next to them, and now they pretty much occupy most of that plaza.
Because I know it was like Henry Ford Optimized on the corner, it was Bars and Blades, and then it was them. So now they're all...
They pretty much occupy 3 or 4 spaces now. So it's nice to see that they're doing that well. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Something else that we do every year that's a lot of fun, you might have to do this next year, is when our food drive rolls around, the whole staff is challenged to do a cooking segment, because one of the days of our week-long food drive now is cooking themed. And so each one of us comes up with a recipe that we prepare on camera. I did a layered nacho dip, and each staff member did something fun. And Becky, this sounds fun, did a Mickey Mouse milkshake. That sounds good. So let's let Becky share her recipe with you right now.
Hi, welcome to the ONTV Cooking Show. I'm Becky, and today I'm going to make a really easy dessert. I'm going to make a Mickey Mouse milkshake. So what you need to make your milkshake, you're going to need some vanilla ice cream. You're going to need some Oreo cookies. You're going to need some milk, some ready whipped topping, and some maraschino cherries. You're also going to need a jar with a lid, a wooden spoon or something to crush up your Oreo cookies, a measuring cup, and you're going to need a blender. So we're going to start out by putting 5 Oreo cookies into our jar. Five. And then we're going to add half a cup of milk. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to crush up the Oreo cookies a little bit. All right. All right. And where's my lid? Here it is. And we're going to shake it up. And what this does, it just softens up the cookies so they'll blend better with our ice cream. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put 3 scoops of ice cream into our blender. 3 good-sized scoops. So let's do one more big one. All right. That looks pretty good. Okay. I'm going to put that aside. And now we're going to add our cookie mix. I'm going to blend it up. Looks pretty good. I'm going to pour it into my hurricane glass. Right. This is when we take our whipped topping. Okay. And now we're going to take 2 more Oreo cookies for the ears. All right. And then we're going to get one of our cherries. And we're going to put it, grab one for the nose. And there you have a Mickey Mouse milkshake. Now just a really fun fact about Mickey Mouse, that his original name was Mortimer Mouse. And Walt Disney's wife didn't really care for the name, and so she really urged him to change the name to Mickey. So that's just a little fun fact about Mickey Mouse. I hope you enjoyed this segment of the ONTV Cooking Show and enjoy your milkshake.
Thanks, Becky. That looked really good.
I'm really hoping when we open that door in a couple of minutes that there's going to be a Mickey Mouse milkshake on the other side of it, Becky.
That's right. Something we wanted to do earlier in the program that we didn't get a chance to do is there's some upcoming events that we want to talk about. One is this Friday. Orion Township is bringing back their indoor garage sale, community garage sale. You can see that over at the banquet room at the Orion Center. They're going to have about 30 vendors set up selling all sorts of stuff from knickknacks and clothing to locally made art and all sorts of stuff. So that's going to be the indoor one. Later on this summer, they'll do their big outdoor one, which I really look forward to.
Yeah.
But if you're interested, it's this Friday, March 8th, beginning at 9 a.m. Doors open at 9 a.m., runs to 3 p.m. And I talked to Jen over at Parks and Rec yesterday, and she said there's still 2 or so vendor spots available. So you might want to give Parks and Rec a call to see if there's any more spaces available if you have some stuff that you want to get rid of, clean a closet out, you know, that sort of thing. So that's this Friday. That's a lot of fun. So.
Fun stuff. I love good garage sales. That means warm weather's coming too. Even if it's indoors, garage sales always equal warmer weather.
Yeah.
So
I got to make more of an effort to hit estate sales and garage sales this summer. There's all kinds of fun stuff to find at these
Never know what
places.
you'll find.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something else that's going on this Saturday that I look forward to is the Orion Township Public Library. Their big annual event is coming back. As a matter of fact, it's their 39th annual Battle of the Books. Are you familiar with Battle of the Books?
I am.
Yeah.
My kids did that.
So they announced 11 titles back in November, and then they recruit 5th graders from all of Lake Orion schools, including homeschooled students. And they've had the past several months to read these 11 titles. And this Saturday at Walden Middle School, the kids show up, they form teams, they wear these elaborate costumes, and they are grilled on their comprehension of the book. So the librarians will read 50 total questions. The students write down the title of the book and the author for 2 points if they get it correct, with the goal being 100 points by the end of the day.
That's so cute.
And they go all out. And, you know, these kids really, really get into it, and they're so competitive. And so that'll be Saturday morning, this thing kicks off. And then the following Monday is the big award ceremony at Lake Orion High School. The librarians will take the time to tally up all the scores, and then they'll announce the winners on Monday. And in addition to that, they invite one of the authors of the 11 books to come and speak to the students. So I asked who they got this year, and they got Skylar Shrimp, who wrote one of the books called 3 Strike Summer. Wow. And so she's going to be there and talk about her process in writing children's books and share that with the aspiring writing 5th graders. But it is such a neat event.
It is.
I remember covering it back in the 90s when it was just a few years old, and they had like 6 or 7 teams in the meeting room of the library.
Right.
That's how it kind of started.
Yeah.
And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just exploded to what you see today. And I look forward to it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and again, my girls did it when they were younger, and I distinctly remember them going over to the one parent was the coach or whatever, and they would, you know, help them through it. Bless their hearts for doing that. But like, you know, they made their costumes, and I mean, it was they have to come up with a name. It's such a creative outlet for kids. I love that.
Yeah, and what's neat is they got the bleachers set up so the family members, the parents, they're holding signs, they're cheering. You know, we have our athletics, we have football, baseball, basketball. It's really neat to see these parents supporting their children who love to read.
Exactly.
It's really great to see.
Yes.
So, yeah, let's keep encouraging that. And next year, the 40th anniversary. So hopefully they'll have something really big planned for next year.
I'm sure they will. For sure.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. That's a lot of fun. Our next video clip, way back in October, October 20th is Community Media Day, and to do something to celebrate Community Media Day, we invited a lot of nonprofits, including Love Inc., to come here into the studio and record a little promotion for their organization. And we had probably 10 or so community groups take us up on it. One of them include the VFW Post 334. So let's take a look at what we put together for the VFW's promo.
Good day. I'm Chuck Haskin from VFW Post 334. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the VFW. VFW started in 1899 after the Spanish-American War was done in 1898. After those veterans came back from the war, they had nothing left as far as benefits or anything to take care of them. So a group of them got together and started the VFW, and we've been marching on ever since through every major war that the United States has been involved in. Our mission is to foster comradeship among United States veterans of overseas conflicts, to serve our veterans, the military, and our communities, to advocate in behalf of all veterans. Our vision is to ensure that veterans are respected by their service, always receive and earn entitlements, and are recognized for the sacrifices they and their loved ones have made on behalf of their great country. With that, what VFW Post 334 does, we turn around and help programs within our community. We help our veterans that need help, and we do whatever we can to help out the organizations. One of our favorite charities here in this area is down in Oxford, is the Fish Food Pantry, and we raise money every year to help sponsor one shelf at Fish. And this particular year they were having some rough times, so we went with a second shelf. But we do all this with the help of the community, and during the month of May and throughout different events of the year, that we do what we call our buddy drive. And you'll see us out there with our buddy poppies, which I have an example of one right here, that we go out and give to the community and solicit donations, all of which 100% of those donations go into our relief fund. And that relief fund is spent on veterans or our community. And other things in the community I can come off the top of my head is we help out with the high schools all-night parties when the seniors are graduating. We go out and we're coming up here in a couple of weeks, we're doing a parade over in the elementary school to celebrate Veterans Day. Also on Veterans Day, we've got a mission up at the Great Lakes National Cemetery with a good program up there to talk about what is Veterans Day, as well as having programs on the day before. Here at the Orion Senior Center, we have a free luncheon for all veterans, and that night at Lake Point Community Church, we have a veterans dinner. But these are just examples of things that we do to support our community, and we're always looking forward to get more members who want to join. Anybody who's served in a foreign conflict is eligible to be part of the VFW and help us do our mission, which is going out and serving our community. When active duty people start their programs with the services, they take an oath for that period of time they're in the service. Well, it doesn't have an end date, so that what we agreed to do then, we're still doing now, is serving the public in our communities. With that, I'd like to thank you and have you have a great day.
So the VFW Post 334 doing great things in the community. For our food drive last month, they did a nice donation to Oxford Orion Fish, where they adopt 2 shelves now year-round and keep those shelves stocked with pasta and soups and stuff like that. So always doing great things in the community. Love those folks over at the VFW. Let's see. Something we want to talk about. Just recently, last week Tuesday was Election Day.
Yes, it was.
The presidential primary election, And on that ballot here in the area within the Lake Orion Community School District, voters were asked to decide the fate of 2 millage proposals, replacement millages, and the folks of Lake Orion came through by about a 60% to 40% margin. So the school district was happy. I chased down Superintendent Ben Kirby to get his reaction to the results of last week's election.
On Thursday, February 27th, voters were encouraged to go to the polls to vote in the presidential primary election. According to the Oakland County Clerk's Office, only 25.79% of registered voters cast a ballot in the primary. In the race for president, Democrats selected Joe Biden with 81.83% of the vote. 12.84% of Democrats declared they were uncommitted. On the Republican side of things, former President Donald Trump received 61.70% of the vote, with challenger Nikki Haley coming in second with 33.37%. Also on the ballot for voters living within the Lake Orion School District were 2 replacement millage proposals. The replacement operating millage proposal passed with 62.99% of the vote, 7,328 yes votes to 4,306 no votes. The replacement building and site sinking fund millage proposal passed with 60.33% of the vote, 7,020 yes votes to 4,516 no votes.
Well, definitely thank you. Thank you for our students. Thank you for our staff. Thank you for our school community. Obviously, we have a lot of support, and we've been doing some great things, and this will allow us to continue to do those great things for our students and community.
The non-homestead operating millage has been supported by voters since 1994 and goes toward the general operating budget, including student programs, staffing, and services. The sinking fund millage is used for construction and repair of schools, school security, transportation, technology, and the purchase of school property. These millages should adequately fund the district for the next 10 years and keep tax levies at the current rates for primary homesteads.
Well, with state funding, it gives us some consistency to know that we'll be getting about $10 million a year, through the non-homestead, $5 million through the the sinking fund, and so that will allow us to continue to keep our facilities up to date, what people would expect. It will allow us to keep our programs, allow us to be competitive with our staff, and have the great teachers in front of our children.
For more information, visit lakeorionschools.org or call 248-693-5400. In Lake Orion, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
So, of course, I proudly wore my I voted sticker all day long.
Me too.
And again, congratulations to the district, the community for coming through and approving that. You know, we had Ben Kirby in here a month or so ago to talk about it. And one thing we talked about is the school district, the schools that we have here in the community are award winning. And when people look for a place to live,
That's
one of the first places they look, one of the first things they look at are the schools if they plan on having a family. And so supporting your schools and making sure that they're the best in the state, if not the country, brings people here, brings taxpayers here, and improves the quality of life here in Lake Orion.
It's consistently one of the reasons that people name for why did you move here. Big part of it is the schools. And you have a good school, then you have higher property taxes, you have better services, it's just cyclical. I am grateful for, that's a lot of my children have graduated from Lake Orion schools, and one's in now. And I've always found them to be exemplary, honestly.
And there's always the people that say, well, I don't have kids in the schools now, why should I pay taxes? Well, it's the greater good.
Right.
You went through the education system. People paid taxes so that you can get an education. It's time to pay that forward and support the education of young people today. So the community came through, and proud of everybody who went to the polls. It was only like the Oakland County said about 25% of registered voters voted last week.
Yeah.
Now, some people say, well, that's a lot for a primary. I don't think that's a lot.
No.
I don't understand why people sit these out.
I don't either.
get it. So
I don't either.
I'm sure those numbers will be up in the fall.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They absolutely will. But I mean, there were so many opportunities this time with the early voting and more people with absentee ballots. I mean, the Treasurer's Department was helping a lot with the Clerk's Department with all the volume stuff coming in. So, so many opportunities. There's really
no excuse.
No excuse.
Get out and vote. You can't complain if you don't vote. We're going to kind of wrap things up now with a look at upcoming events here in the Lake Orion community. Becky is back once again to share this week's quick hits.
The Orion Library will be hosting a reverse book club on Wednesday, March 6th from 6 to 7 p.m. You didn't read the book? No problem. This is a book club in reverse. The library will have activities based on the book and read the first chapter together. You have the rest of the month to read the remainder of the book. This program is from 3rd through 5th grade students. For more information, visit orionlibrary.org. On Friday, the Orion Center will be hosting Senior Social Hour from 11 a.m. to noon. Seniors meet on the 2nd and 4th Fridays of each month for a chance to get out and socialize. Each week will feature a different topic of conversation so that the participants can enjoy the company of other seniors. Don't miss the indoor community garage sale this Friday at the Orion Center. Why drive from house to house wasting valuable time and resources? Drive to one location and see it all. The sale runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission and parking is free. On Saturday, the Orion Library will be hosting Magic the Gathering Club from 10 a.m. to noon. Beginners and experienced players are welcome to learn to play this popular trading card game. Bring your own cards or use pre-made decks provided by the library. All ages are welcome. Find your new best friend this weekend at Petco. The Best Buddies Pet Rescue will be holding an adoption event this Saturday and Sunday. Cats and kittens will be available for adoption on Saturday from 12 to 4, and the dogs and puppies on Sunday from 12 to 3. Petco is located in the Baldwin Commons Shopping Center in Orion Township. Well, now let's take a look at this week's weather. Wednesday's forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies with a high of 49 and low 33. Partly cloudy again on Thursday with a high 51 and low 35. Evening rain on Friday with a high 53 and low 43. Showers on Saturday with a high 45 and low 30. And mostly cloudy on Sunday with a high 40 and low 27. Well, that's it for this week's ONTV Quick Hit. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Becky. One other thing that's coming up this week that wasn't mentioned is the Orion Arts Center has partnered up with the Orion Library for, they're going to have an opening reception this Thursday. It's kind of a neat idea. Participants are assigned a book, and I don't have the title in front of me, but it's like something about Kitchens of America or something like that. And the participants read the book and then create artwork inspired by the book. And so this Thursday is the opening reception, and they're going to have all the artwork on display at the Orion Arts Center this week. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
They're doing great things over there.
They are.
So that pretty much wraps up this episode of Orion Today. Went by fast, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, it did.
We just sat down.
I know. It always goes by fast. That's what happens when you're having fun.
That's right. So thanks again for joining me, and we'll be doing this again soon, and we'll see you on the next episode of Orion Today.